One of the things that I love about Venue Manager is the ease of adding events and adding different content to our website. And our event sales are through the roof. We've more than 2x'd the gross revenue since putting in these streamlined processes. Yeah, I would say about 85% of our work is done through the phone application, because it's very rare that we're sitting in front of a computer. We are owner operators, so we're constantly, he's on the line and overseeing the guys, and I'm in the event hall setting up for events.
I'll say from my perspective as a working chef that the mobile app it's everything for me. When I'm in the thick of it and it's busy, I couldn't imagine stopping at 5 p.m. on a Friday and going and opening the desktop. I just don't have time for that. So with the mobile app, I'm just, right out of my pocket, I can see, hey, I can let my guys know, hey, we just went from 40 to 70 reservations, make more potatoes, and it's the real time updates without being bogged down from having to step out of my office, which is a kitchen.
So one of the things that Venue Manager did for us was allow us to bring that all in-house and control our own destiny with it. And I am proud to say we have worked very hard, and we got those Yelp reviews up over 4.2 stars, just by doing our thing and putting in the quality and, but without having the ability to remove the reservations from being connected with those Yelp reviews, I don't even think that we would have had an opportunity to do that. So that has been extremely helpful in our growth plan.
Yeah. In Venue Manager, it's almost like it allowed us to redirect what people were seeing. It's like hitting a reset button as far as reviews. And then after the reset button happened and we're getting our reviews on either Google or wherever else, people bounce back to Yelp, and we're seeing positive traction there. And without Venue Manager, really a lot of that would have been a ton more work than what we had to put into it.
And if at all possible.
Well, my name is Donald. This is Erica. We are co-owners of Currents Restaurant in Tarpon Springs, Florida. We've been using Venue Manager for about 7 to 8 months now. And one thing that I really like about the software is the way that it allows us to go straight from our website through the reservation process. We have a banquet hall connected to our restaurant, and it's very user-friendly for our guests to be able to just go directly to our website, and they can see our upcoming events. They can purchase tickets. They can make reservations for dinner, and it's very seamless the way that we can put it directly on our site to have our guests be informed, and then it's very easy to communicate back and forth once the tickets are sold or reservations are made.
Yeah, and so when we partnered with Currents in October, one of our first initiatives was to find a software that was end-to-end for us. Prior to using Venue Manager, we were on multiple platforms for different things, from scheduling to reservations, and for the event hall bookings, we didn't even have a software. The staff was using Excel spreadsheets and a printed binder. So it was very important to us to find a software that was basically all-encompassing of what we needed for internal communication with our guests, and basically streamline everything from end to end in our operations. Venue Manager has made it much easier to manage all of our events simultaneously while managing the traffic to our dining room for lunch and dinner, as well as the events that we host internally. One of the things that I love about Venue Manager is the ease of adding events and adding different content to our website. When we run events like wine dinners or murder mystery dinners, Chef Donald writes a custom menu, and we are able to upload it directly onto our website so that people can see. It helps to slow down the calls to the restaurant, which makes our staff more productive when they're on site. They're not so bogged down with calls. People can go directly to the website to see the information, and we're able to manage that through pretty user-friendly content management system on the back end. uploading the menu, structuring the events, managing the purchasing of the tickets, seeing the purchasing of the event tickets as they come in so that we can gauge what our occupancy is going to be and what we need to prepare for. So that has been extremely helpful for our business.
Sure. And then touching on that as well, the guest chat feature where they can, if they have a question about anything and they can click in and communicate with us, I find it to be really helpful and time saving. We all know time is money. So it saves us a ton of time to be able to communicate, straight from our cell phone back to any question that a guest may have. We can also communicate, fully with our staff within the website, which, it saves us time.
What other software were you using before?
So we were using Yelp for reservations, and then for scheduling, Homebase is what we were using.
And then for our venue management, we were like straight analog,
Microsoft.
which not even Microsoft. We're like, printing papers and they're taking notes by hand. So it was imperative for us right away to go digital with everything. And because we have kind of a lot going on, it would be useful just in a restaurant setting, but being that we have the banquet hall to be able to have that multi-purpose all in one is super helpful for us.
Yeah, working out of a single dashboard where we can go to for everything and not utilizing multiple softwares and multiple programs to manage definitely saves us time and allows us to be more productive during the day and allows us to definitely run leaner. We don't really need somebody working for hours and hours on data entry into a spreadsheet, or we don't spend hours and hours doing that ourselves, which is nice. So we can focus on other things to help grow the business. And the number of events that individual is able to book is way higher than what we saw historically when our partner ran the business, fully end to end. Our event sales are through the roof. We've more than 2x'd the gross revenue since putting in these streamlined processes. And it's been, among other things, it's been one of the catalysts for growth.
All right, let me jump in to explain this chart. Current joined Venue Manager in December, and this chart showing what they did for the past 6 months. This video is being recorded on July 1st. So as you see here on June 23, it's almost catching up with what they did for the full year of 2022. And what you see in this chart is the previous years that they were with Yelp reservations. So we moved all the database of the reservations with the customer's information, email, phone numbers, and the details about the reservations. We moved it to Venue Manager dashboard. And when we launched the website, all the reservations took place on current new website. And it's not just reservations, it's reservations with payments for large parties over 6. There is increase across all their services: table reservations, venue bookings, event tickets, and gift cards. And that to show you the difference, what will happen when you join Venue Manager. We will do the same cycle. We'll get your data from the other software you were using, and it will be organized and sorted out to be able to see all the data with the details on the calendar, and also all the lead details as well for the venue bookings, all the events that you had. All that will be moved, and you're not going to be missing anything. So you'll feel more comfortable to join Venue Manager and know that all your old database will be organized in one software. Please go to our website under the data migration page and read about the data migration so you would understand what we do. And also go to software comparison page where you can see the features in details and the comparison between other software. As you see, there is more features under Venue Manager than all the competitive software in the market. Now let's get back to Erica and Donald and learn from them how they were able to turn around their operation and increase their positive reviews on Yelp even after they stopped using Yelp reservations.
Correct.
I see. How did the payment for reservation help?
So one of the features that we were able to implement using Venue Manager is taking a deposit on large reservations, because a lot of times people, they change their mind, they forget their reservation. And when we have a table blocked off and our reservation doesn't show up, it costs us money. So we were easily able to add the feature with Venue Manager to be able to take those deposits ahead of time.
Yeah, and that has definitely helped to make sure that we have appropriate staff on when needed, and it helps to raise the commitment level of the guest and the communication of the guest. We have far less no call, no shows on reservations because of that feature. And we are able to predictably put together the floor chart more so because those people they're learning that they need to make those reservations ahead of time. Every now and again, we'll still get that 8 top that wants to walk in, but more and more our regulars and our locals are learning that they need to plan ahead, and the deposits definitely make it easier for us to have that predictability on what to expect for those larger parties.
Great, I'm happy that helped. And your guests in general are new guests or mostly regulars?
So right now it's
a combination.
Yeah, it's about 65% new and 35% repeat. We've changed a lot of our marketing strategies to build a newer local audience. Historically, Tarpon Springs is a destination place and has been for a while. So the focus in previous years have been on tourists and snowbirds and that kind of business. What Donald and I have been focusing on since taking over is building up the local business and the repeat guests. And that has been working because we are able to institute more of a predictable revenue stream for the business and know what our baseline is. And then those snowbirds and tourists become, cherry on the top. So Venue Manager has helped us with our outreach and cataloging our guests, being able to pull different email lists, being able to pull different marketing lists, and also analyzing the demographics of those new people so that we can target lookalike audiences and continue to bring in and build up that particular demographic for the restaurant.
Great. And you also started doing ticketed events. How did that work out?
So historically, Currents has run events. We've been open for 12 years. So in the 12 years, we've done wine dinners and different things, but we've always relied on people, pretty much the honor code, people making reservations, and either they come or they don't. But with Venue Manager, we've been able to pre-sell tickets. That way, whenever I go and I prepare food for, say, 50 or 60 people, but only 30 show up and 30 don't pay, it's a big deal. It's like that's all of our profitability, and our bottom line is destroyed by that. But with pre-sold tickets for events, the money coming in is guaranteed. Plus, it's helpful for the guests because they will get a reminder like, hey, you have an event tonight. They can sync it directly with their calendar with the notification that they get. So the pre-ticketed events have, they've been really useful.
They've definitely been very successful. Another thing that it allows us to do is elevate our menus and our guest experience when we have those ticket pre-sales. So we're not guessing what percentage of drop-off we're going to get. We know exactly what our revenue is on the event going into it. And that has been extremely helpful with allowing us to bring in, more elevated food, and doing more extravagant events. It's given us that freedom and that leeway to do that.
Did the phone application help you be more efficient?
Yeah, I would say about 85% of our work is done through the phone application because it's very rare that we're sitting in front of a computer. We are owner operators, so we're constantly, he's on the line and overseeing the guys, and I'm in the event hall setting up for events and walking around talking to our guests and things like that. So it is extremely convenient to be able to, like with the chat feature, answer guests' communication on the fly, no matter where we are, being able to check in and see how many reservations we have, how many tickets we have sold. Just managing a lot of it through the app is super convenient.
Sure, and I'll say from my perspective as a working chef that the mobile app it's everything for me. When I'm in the thick of it and it's busy, I couldn't imagine stopping at 5 p.m. on a Friday and going and opening my laptop, sitting down, opening a website, and all of the steps that go into actually managing it on the desktop. I just don't have time for that. So with the mobile app, I'm just right out of my pocket. I can see, hey, I can let my guys know, hey, we just went from 40 to 70 reservations. Make more potatoes, and it's the real time updates without being bogged down from having to step out of my office, which is a kitchen.
Yeah, of course, being informed instantly all the time makes you prepare better and be ready for any spikes and reservations or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and then any last minute changes, it's not like, oh, hey, I didn't go to the front to the hostess stand and see that 20 more people called. And another thing is, we used to get, I would say, 60 to 70% of people calling, making reservations, and then 30% they would go through Yelp. We're at like 90% online booking, and the only people that really aren't doing it are regulars we've had for like 12 years, and they're just it's an older crowd, so they're kind of set in their ways. They want the human touch where they call someone, but really overall all of our booking is done online, which is it saves us time. It's one less, I don't have to have someone there being paid to answer the phone, so I'm saving labor dollars right there.
Yeah.
Correct.
Another thing too is when our reservation system was tied to Yelp, COVID was actually pretty detrimental to the restaurant as far as reviews go. As we all know in this industry, everybody got hit pretty hard. Everybody had to run lean and do things on the fly. Quality went down because of, all of the complications, whatever. We don't need to go into it. But the restaurant reviews on Yelp were not great. They were actually the lowest across any platform for reviews. And it was hurting our bookings, because people would go to reserve, even though there was a link on our website, it would take them to Yelp, and the very first thing that they saw was the 3.5-star review on Yelp, and that was, it was like
Enough.
2 steps forward, 3 steps back for us. Especially taking over in October, it was one of our initiatives to get those reviews up, but you can't have people booking. They were bouncing at a rate of over 67% to book with our restaurant, and I don't blame them. So one of the things that Venue Manager did for us was allow us to bring that all in-house and control our own destiny with it. And I am proud to say we have worked very hard, and we got those Yelp reviews up over 4.2 stars, just by doing our thing and putting in the quality, and, but without having the ability to remove the reservations from being connected with those Yelp reviews, I don't even think that we would have had an opportunity to do that. So that has been extremely helpful in our growth plan.
Yeah. In Venue Manager, it's almost like it allowed us to redirect what people were seeing. It's like hitting a reset button as far as reviews. And then after the reset button happened and we're getting our reviews on either Google or wherever else, people bounce back to Yelp, and we're seeing positive traction there. And without Venue Manager, really a lot of that would have been a ton more work than what we had to put into it.
And if at all possible. Sometimes it's not possible to come back from that. So that's probably one of the biggest benefits that we've seen from Venue Manager.
That's great to hear. And also the reviews in the system itself.
And that's a very good point too, because we have seen that any sort of negative experience, since it's so much easier for our guests to contact us, and it happens, it's the industry, but they contact us through the website instead of just leaving a random review, more and more often.
Sure.
Which is everything, because it allows us to make things right with the guest without having it this, public parade, and things that we need to deal with that everybody's looking at. Allows us to actually be good big business owners, make it right without having a huge black mark online with the keyboard warriors.
Yeah, that happens.
And how's your experience with the staff schedule?
Yeah, so when making the staff schedule, it's pretty seamless to be able to bounce back and forth when making staff schedule because it's all right there. I can look at the upcoming reservations for the week by day. I can also look at clusters of times when the reservations are. And then I can check the event schedule and banquets, all of that right there on one page. That way I just toggling back and forth. Instead of it taking me, 2 hours to make the schedule, I'm able to do it in, 30, 40 minutes, which is, time is money.
Yeah, huge time saver. The other thing that I really like is, the fact that the staff can see the entire schedule, because on home base and even texting way back when Tracy was texting out schedules, right. They couldn't always see when other people were working. So if they need to get their shift covered, they can see who's working with them. They can see the notes, whether they're on the banquet or in the dining room. And they can get their shift covered. They can reach directly out to that other staff member. That way we don't get the headaches of, calling out at the last minute and the shift isn't covered, and our staff has been really good about it. Our staff is not the most tech savvy bunch, but they've definitely been getting more and more used to the way that Venue Manager works, and they like having the app on their phone. And
it's user friendly for them. So even the ones that aren't that tech savvy, they're still able to go in, request vacation time or, have access to the schedule of the other servers to have a shift picked up for them, so that's super helpful because it's user friendly.
Yeah, for sure.
You guys been great. I'm sure this video will be very helpful to other venue operators to learn from you and realize how important it is to use Venue Manager and follow your steps.
Awesome. It was my pleasure, and I do have to go open the restaurant. So thanks, Amir.
Thanks,
good talking to you.
Thank you very much.
We'll talk soon. Yep, thanks.
Venue Manager is developed by venue operators with extensive experience in tech, venue marketing, and operation. Venue Manager is powered by AI and smart automation that simplify processes and expedite task execution more than many leading software in the market. We guarantee to help you reduce labor cost, third-party transaction fees, and marketing cost. Venue Manager Smart Application will increase exposure, efficiency, transparency, and revenue, and will lead to improve your venue positive reviews and guest experience, no matter what size your venue is.